Right, well, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has tackled President Bola Tinubu over the country's security situation, particularly the recurrent kidnappings across the nation. Atiku, who contested against the president during the 2023 presidential election, asked the president to step aside if he cannot handle the worsening insecurity in the country. Now, the former vice president said, despite rising cases of insecurity, the president could muster the courage to leave the country and proceed on a private visit to France. Atiku said the country does not need another tourist in chief. The visit was the president's third to France since he assumed office 8 months ago. Now, the PDP Deputy National Publicity Secretary, Ibrahim Abdullahi, also stated that the insecurity and the state of the nation's economy made it a bad time for Tinubu to embark on a foreign trip, or any other trip for that matter. Now, there are reports that daredevil kidnappers have continued to unleash terror on Nigerians in different parts of the country in defiance of security arrangements put in place to tackle the issue of abduction for ransom and other insecurity issues, which lately have assumed a level, an astronomical level, and has taken a commercial angle to it. For instance, you do recall that 3 riot police inspectors were kidnapped last Friday evening in the Ohoro community off the East-West Road, Uheli North local government area of Delta State, while gunmen on Saturday kidnapped the Oyo State chairman of the Tipa, Lorry and Quarry Park Management System, the president of Alhaji Akeem Akintola. Similarly, on Saturday, the deputy vice chancellor of Abia State University, Uturu, Professor Godwin Emezue, was abducted from a petrol station at Umwekwelu, Amachara, a community in the Umuahia South local government area of the state. Now, this just goes on and on. In Abuja, there was a situation whereby kidnappers went into an estate, went into homes to kidnap people. Well, also, gunmen suspected to be kidnappers on Monday killed 2 Ekiti State monarchs on the Ikpao Okeako Road. Still in Ekiti, school students were abducted, 6 of them, and 3 teachers. Yes, that's it on our screen there. 6 school students, 3 teachers, and the driver of the vehicle conveying them were kidnapped. So insecurity in the country has assumed a different level. This was also in Ekiti State. One would wonder, it's trickling down, south.
It's already in the south, not trickling.
It's already in the south. All right. Well, we have joining us virtually Chukuma Okoro. I do believe that he has joined the conversation as well. Chukuma, good morning to you.
Good morning, Moses.
Oh, great. I have missed you, I must say. I've missed you around here. Please don't abandon us again. All right? We'd like to...
I'm blushing here.
All right. Let me start with you on this one. Now, before we go on, let's before I come to you now, let's take the response of the presidency. Bayo Onanuga issued a statement on X yesterday responding to Atiku Abubakar. Excuse me. Now let's take that one. It's from X platform. Let's if we have that one on the screen. Some Nigerians, yes, that's it. I'm going to read. It says President Tinubu on top of the matter. That's the State House press release, and also titled "Response to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar." It says Alhaji Atiku Abubakar's statement accusing President Bola Tinubu of fiddling amidst some security and economic challenges is, to say the least, reckless. Coming days after he made an equally reckless allegation against the president on the crude for loan deal for NNPC Limited. His latest statement fell short of what is expected from an elder statesman. All right? So we like to believe that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is still not nursing a hangover of his electoral defeat and now latches on any issue to attack President Tinubu. President Tinubu did not travel without informing Nigerians of his whereabouts. He announced a private visit to France and announced a return date. While in France, President Tinubu has been following developments at home and he's on top of the situation in the country. Today's inauguration of the Tripartite Committee on National Minimum Wage bore his imprimatur. He is in constant touch with his officials and security chiefs and has directed them to stamp out every form of criminality in the country. He has particularly ordered them to apprehend those criminals responsible for the murder of 2 monarchs in Ekiti State and the kidnapping of some pupils in the state. We are already seeing results. Are we? We are? I don't know. With the arrest of over 139 kidnappers around Abuja, Kaduna, and Benue states in the last 1 week. The Police Special Intervention Squad, SIS, and DSS have also rescued 154 abducted persons in the last few days. Just last week, President Tinubu approved 50 billion naira as special fund to address some of the lingering security challenges in the Northeast, where Alhaji Atiku Abubakar hails from. To cope with the kidnapping challenges in the FCT, President Tinubu also approved funds for the acquisition of equipment to trap criminals. Now, if Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is really concerned about security issues and not playing cheap politics, he should have known that President Tinubu is on top of the issues and working hard to restore peace to every part of our country. Our security agencies are working very hard to bring the security situation under control. President Tinubu is giving them all the necessary support they need to win the battle against criminal elements and secure every inch of our country. Bayo Ononuga, Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy. Now, Chukwuma, this was a very swift response. Go ahead. Yeah. Your thoughts, actually.
Thank you very much. I will start from where Bayo Ononuga stopped.
Please go ahead.
To me, Bayo might be a fine journalist. Bayo might be a fine journalist, but he doesn't come across as a good communication specialist for his principal. He has succeeded in doing more damage to the image of the president by looking at Nigerians, very intelligent people, and lying to us in our faces. He's flying the whole lie, all the lies in our faces before us. We are about 220 million Nigerians. Between that, we have close to 35,000 PhD holders and professors, close to 40,000 masters and first degree holders. And you stand before us and lie to us. It's an insult as far as I'm concerned. So, but
what is the lie
needs to do better.
What is the lie? What is the lie, actually?
That the president is, that we are seeing the benefits of the president's action.
But he stated a few things there. I'm playing the devil's advocate now. He stated a few things. He stated some arrests that have been made in Benue and some parts of Abuja as well. And yes, Kaduna too.
Most is a situation where 2,546 people have been killed in 8 months, and you succeed in rescuing 3 people or 4 people. Do you rate that as success? Does it come across to you as success? The issue of rescuing people, why don't you prevent? Security should be about prevention. Okay. It should be about prevention. They say prevention is better than cure. Is a common usage in our language, in society. Prevention is better than cure. Why don't we use the security apparatus, the security apparatus of this country to prevent upfront those kidnaps? Why must kidnaps happen? Why must people be killed? I said it last time that the next time we'll hear or talk about Jos, Plateau State, is when another set is killed, and it just happened. We didn't get to hear about Jaws again until about 34 people were killed last week. And Jaws again is in the news. I said it has happened. I'm not a prophet. I'm not a soothsayer. I'm just a realistic Nigerian. Because I understand these things. I understand the currents driving insecurity and Nigerian politics. So that is what it is. If I were Bayo, I would do better.
All right.
And we don't need a former Vice President Atiku Abubakar to tell us that Nigeria is a country under siege of insecurity. My son in high school understands that.
All right.
So
Now,
if you look at the president, people should. I sympathize with Nigerians because these things we were foretold when he was campaigning. Alhaji Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu told us that he was going to continue from where President Buhari stopped, and that is what he's doing. So I'm surprised that anybody is surprised. He has continued with his frivolous travels without reason. He has continued with the massive killing during Buhari's regime. Discrepancies. Some say.
Let me stay with you on this one. Let me stay with you on this one. A quick one now.
Okay.
Some have said that we're seeing a repeat of what happened in 2011, where the country was being made ungovernable by some individuals who fueled insecurity. Do you perceive that that might be the case here?
Moses, I was coming to that because Nigerians don't seem to understand the larger picture of the security, of the insecurity, the larger picture of the expanding criminality that has enveloped Nigeria. People see these things as people kidnapping people, people killing people. It is a lot more than that. And I have said it severally in this TV and elsewhere that we need to begin to interrogate why the two presidents have not fought insecurity. When Jonathan tried to fight insecurity, they labeled him what? President Buhari went to him. He went to Oyo State, to Lam Adesina, and said, "Your people are killing my people." What was that supposed to mean? And nobody interrogated that. His career wasn't damaged, instead it blossomed. So, yes, I agree. There's a larger picture of what is happening. There's an undercurrent. And the moment we begin to interrogate these things, the better for us. If you look at what is going on, if it is not Bola Ahmed, if it is not the current president, if it were to be another president, and the person doesn't take necessary steps to look at the root causes of insecurity, Moses, the thing will always be expanding until the thing, all of us will be involved by it. If you look at the countries that have unraveled, I spoke the other day about Rwanda, the Rwandan genocide. If there's a movie, Hotel Rwanda, it speaks very much about what happened in Rwanda in the days of the genocide. If you look at how Rwanda unraveled, what is happening here? If you look at how Yugoslavia unraveled, that is exactly what is happening here. It has happened before. In the 1960s, in the mid-1960s, between 64, 65, 66, what happened that led to a civil war that took the best of our best?
All right.
Those same issues that led to the civil war have not been addressed. Unfortunately, they are ever expanding beyond the southeast to other regions of the country. Look at what's going on in the southwest. 3 monarchs kidnapped, 2 seriously injured, at the point critically in ICU stations. So you discover that the thing is ever expanding, and our Nero is fiddling while Rome burns. President Asiwaju, if you want, travel to Paris as long as you can. Nigerians will keep interrogating the reasons for your trouble. And the earlier, you see, sometimes I even understand that the problem is not bad. We don't have a problem with bad leaders. We have more of our problem is with people, the followers who support bad leaders, either because one, they are benefiting from it, or because they think this is our own ethnicity. That is the bane. Most is all said and done. The problem of insecurity, the problem of corruption, all the problems in this country, I lay it at the feet of leadership. If we have the good leadership, things wouldn't be the way they are.
Okay, thank you, sir, for that.
Mr. Lawal, sorry about that. I wanted to come to you on this. One of the dailies, particularly the Guardian newspaper, said in one of its headlines, tuition fees hike imminent as private schools pay more to secure the lives of the pupils in that institution. That's on one hand of the economy. A pint of Gary now is about, help me, 2,000 naira thereabout? 2,000 plus. That's on another angle. And that particularly is because of the fact that transportation is really something. Now, can't the federal government at this point call for a state of emergency when it comes to security? And what should be done as regards this insecurity presently?
See, even if the present government calls for state of emergency, it will still increase it will aggravate the problem. It will increase the hardship. Don't let them call for state of emergency. You know why? Because somebody who's calling for state of emergency has a strategy. That is why he's calling for it. If they call for it, they have no strategy.
You think so?
Yeah. Yes. You have no strategy. You have no strategy. Look at the insecurity we are talking about. The bandits, the kidnapping, they are the same. I said it here now. They are the same. It's now some kind of institution in Nigeria in which gradually the youth see it as a means to take care of their unemployment.
You think so?
Yes. That is why you see them almost everywhere. You see them almost everywhere, operating everywhere. And the government, you get it, the government is not doing anything because it's like the government itself is either is involved in it or it just sees it as a means to benefit itself. That's why it's not doing anything. Something like this cannot happen in a normal country. Now you say you have like what
Chukuma.
Onanuga said.
Okay, Bayo.
You are talking about Abuja. You are talking about you have arrested people. Look at where it is happening. It happened in Abuja. You went to Abuja. They have moved down to Ekiti. Now, if you go to Ekiti, they will go to where? Cross River. If you go to Cross River, they will go back to Port Harcourt. I mean, they will go to Port Harcourt. From there, they'll come to Lagos. If they will do this, they keep going around, and you keep like you are chasing. They will succeed. Them. You go there. What are you have? That's why you have not made any head.
Isn't that an indication that our security apparatus is overstretched?
It's not overstretched. They don't have strategy. You get? In every country, the security is not enough. In America, in China, in UK, in Europe, the security can never be enough.
So what would
what
do you suggest as a strategy, as it stands?
One, let us begin to have localized security network.
More like a
But is Amotekun?
Yes. We're supposed to have local government police. I told you, I've said this many times, many years ago. In a community, most of the people in the community know themselves.
But you know, they've actually started that because somewhere in the east they have the Ibubiago outfit.
Do you know what Amotekun face?
You know,
Before it, in fact, up till now, it's still not accepted. Do you know what the Amotekun face? I was traveling to Ibadan last week when this kidnapping happened. I was there when the police were doing their checkpoints. If you see the way, you see this Amotekun, they park their vehicles to support them. But they are not on the field. They just stand around. But you see these police, they were ill-equipped. Police that want to face kidnappers, and most of them, they are not wearing bulletproof. Most of them, they are not even armed. I look at these people, I pity them.
Isn't that the reason why I also said that, don't you think our security apparatus is overstretched?
No. That is not being overstretched.
Because if you don't have equipment to that point, it simply means that they don't have to give to those ones.
But you know, every year during the budget, to have a certain amount of money allocated.
You are even going far. We have Ministry of Police Affairs. Why do you call it Ministry of Police Affairs? What is the meaning of Police Affairs? So we want to have Ministry of Police and Policing, not Police Affairs. That is why nothing is coming out of that ministry. What do you mean by police affair? Is it to drink coffee and eat biscuits? That's what you call affair. It's supposed to be Ministry of Police and Policing, and you put experienced people there that their duty, you purposely vote security money there, and they use it for police and policing, not police affair. Now, this police you send out, 2 police can handle 20 criminals if they face each other. If the police are properly, they have enough strategy, they are strategized.
Or if they're properly trained.
Yes,
We know how
and they have the equipment. Look at this American, they have this night goggles, they have the SWAT. If they cannot handle, if the local one cannot handle it, you have the the FBI coming in. You see, they have their county police, the sheriff, they move around. They are the one to first of all take care of the issue. The moment new people come in, they already know, because the community know themselves, they are already informing the sheriff about the new people that are coming in. The sheriffs are already visiting them. You get? And if you get to a level the sheriff cannot handle, they call on the FBI will come in and take over. You see the SWAT coming in. You see see, that is strategy. That's strategy.
Right.
So this our they don't have the strategy. You get, what they do is just that they do this fire brigade approach.
All right, Chukwuma, let me come back to you now. Talking about fire brigade approach, spontaneous response as against laying out a strategy. I mean, we've talked about the problems long enough. And like you rightly stated, it's when another happens, we come back to talk about, what has happened again. Now, I know we've talked about this as well, but I would like for emphasis' sake, take us through what you think would be the solution to some of these insecurity issues. I would like to believe state policing is one of them. Well, you also do recall that the president just approved the purchase of some tracking devices to enable them track phone calls. I mean, these things are really not new. These things have existed long before now, and they've been used as well. If I want to elongate this, some individuals will tell you that they have to pay the police to track phone calls when they have issues of kidnappings and all of that. They've had that and it has worked. But what are the other issues that you think can be done to solve this? The things that can be done to solve this. Solution now, please.
Thank you, Moses. The having state police is an issue that has been overflowed. Even the leadership of this country understands clearly that we need to domesticate the police. We need to devolve powers from the top to the subnationals. But beyond that, there's another issue, the issue of sincerity on the part of the leadership. Because if you limit the issue to the police and security being overstretched, you understand too that if 10 kidnaps happen, and if we have 10 cases where herders and farmers have killed one another, you understand that the security most times are involved subterraneously, secretly, behind 8 of those incidences. That is a fact. That is a fact. Because you have a situation where you have a police checkpoint or a military checkpoint, like 2 poles to kidnap incidents. So how do you explain that? And sometimes people have been arrested with military assault rifles that is emblazoned with Nigerian Army, inscribed with Nigerian Army and Nigerian Police inscriptions. What has come out of those cases? Nothing. That is to tell you that beyond domesticating the police force to subnationals, the issue of the sincerity of the leadership is involved too.
Okay.
It's more like how can I put it now? It's more like an ideological thing, and it brings us back to the issue of where are we coming from and where are we going to. I said it the other time, in the 6 geopolitical zones, there's one element that you can isolate, that is common amongst all of them, and that is criminality in kidnap. But beyond that, the root causes of insecurity in each of the 6 regions is peculiar, very peculiar. So what we need to do is go to the root cause of what is causing insecurity in the Northeast. What is it? Terrorism. For what? People have been radicalized. And what do they need? They need an Islamic State. Beyond that, they need land for grazing. What do? You radicalize the people. You do ranching so that your liberty to pursue livelihood doesn't interfere with my own. If you raise your cow and it disrupts my own farming business.
Well, the issue of ranching is not new. The issue of ranching has been discussed, and properties provided.
No, so why can't we do it? Why are we heading cars from Sokoto to Cross River State? Why are we heading cars from Borno to Lagos State? That is the question. That's the big question we should answer. Why isn't Nnamdi Kanu still in detention? What is happening in the Southwest? What is happening in the South-South? So Moses, the earlier we get to the root cause of insecurity, and like the thing has festered to the point that there's a blur between insecurity and criminality. Kidnap is clearly a criminal issue, and it is everywhere now in all parts of the country. And you don't really blame a particular group of people for kidnap, even if they connive with others. But that one is clearly criminality.
Okay.
What do you do about that? Grow the economy. Make the economy. Bolster it so that it can thrive. People can find reasonable means of income. Again, the issue of if the government is sincere, it can actually, why is it that our police and our soldiers, when they go outside, they perform very well and come back with medals? Why can't they do that here? What it tells you is that at the top, there's an issue of openness. There's an issue of sincerity. And until we begin to tell ourselves the honest truth, we will keep running the circle shoe, and the thing will keep expanding.
All right,
thank you,
so
sir,
it's
for
about
that.
identifying each root cause and addressing each one because they are peculiar.
Yeah.
Being
All right.
truthful too while addressing them, I guess.
Interesting.
And now I want to ask you, Mr. Lawal, and also I'll be needing you to drop your, your thought, final thought
this
as
topic.
regards that. Okay, we could remember that during this week, the political elites have been calling themselves out. We have the Oyo State Governor Makinde calling Atiku out, and Atiku in return is now calling out the president. I mean, a public exchange. And I want to ask you, how does this calling out or this public exchange between politicians impact the perception of the leadership in Nigeria?
I would say what is the impact on the followers. The followership is more important than the leadership. The followers need to wake up. You see, there's issue in the country, serious issues in the country. The leaders are taking time to blame themselves, just like the Senate always calling somebody and calling them and calling over and over again, and nothing is coming out of it. To let you know that they don't have a direction, they don't have a strategy, they are just doing it for doing sake. And then everything goes back to normal and they still come back again. It is time for the followers to be politically radicalized. That this is the time that the people must come together. Forget about ethnicity. Forget about religion fanaticism. Let us begin to look at leaders who we see that are capable. And then we'll rally around those leaders and then get them into power. That is the way that we can move forward. I remember when the president was coming on board, there's so many things that come into it. It may not come. Somebody said it's our son, our own person. I told them, why not go to the east and tell them the same thing, or go to the north and tell them, why are you telling us that in the east, in the west here? You get? So you see, trying to cause divisions among ourselves and use that as an opportunity to get their gains. We should look beyond that.
Alright.
We should look beyond that. We should begin to see that even if the leader, I am even clamoring for a white man to come and contest. Well, let the white come and contest. Come here, contest, get into offices. Let us see whether you can do it better than the blacks.
Oh,
Just like
think it'd be
Obama.
better?
Obama was a black man.
Absolute
The
power, they
white
say
man
corrupts,
must be a
absolutely.
Nigerian, right? Okay.
But you have forgotten about the saying that says absolute power corrupts absolutely. Because you have people that will come up with better or so many things during the manifesto.
Well,
when they get there, it's
Let's
like,
say,
why we-
let's
that's
say
why
with
we
the
follow
fact that the white man has to be a Nigerian, like
Yeah.
a William Troost Ekong, because he's white in color, but still a Nigerian. All right, let's just dive into some of the things. Up next on VOP this morning, the Vice President Kashim Shettima on Tuesday inaugurates 37-member minimum wage committee. Let's discuss this when we return.